So let's that's why I opened a new copy. We're going to talk briefly about what happens when you try to run both. So you can shave a grizzle. So let's talk about first what comes in. The kind of stuff that you have to run if you want to pull off a Doomsday minimum kill. And you don't necessarily run the hate. One of the ways that you can work around is you just hope that the opponent doesn't have anything really. Like, for example, maybe the Shelldog's bad. Maybe they're, like, against that Charlotte's guy, we saw both Waste and Needle. I think it was nice that we got a kill with this, but I don't think it's right. So you got to run at least 2 Lions. And so we're bringing in these 7, right? So we want to bring in this 7, maybe also the Chain of Vapor. But you can't bring in the Bobs if you're going to leave in the Grizzlebrands. It's just too many big cards. It's just too much. You could even consider cutting the Emrakul. I don't like doing that, but you can. If you're not going to bring in the Shelldog package, you can consider siding out the Emmy. I do side down 1 Grizzle. But see, then you're just 1 Finn. You know, you're just mono Finn, which is pretty bare bones. Cut a Chrome Mox. Cut the top. Maybe not top. I mean, it depends on the matchup. If it's really slow and grindy, yes, still run the top. Hand hate gets worse as the game goes on. Therapy is going to be less reliable because really it's best when you already know it's in their hand. You don't always have the probe. Don't always have it. So maybe you trim a therapy or 2. You're definitely going to trim some number of Vengeance. Maybe 1 to 2 Vengeance. And so there you go. I would board something like this. Unfortunately, I just realized I deleted those cards instead of putting them in the sideboard, so it doesn't give you an exact representation of where all the cards are going. But hopefully, bear with me and you guys will get it. So I think those are the minimum packages. This is bare bones. And it's really, really reliant on this Tendrils. If your opponent has Thoughtseize for Tendrils, well, you're out of luck. And, you know, or Hymn to Turok hits the Tendrils, you're out of luck. Because this version is all about this one of Tendrils. Now, if you want to go Super Glass Cannon, this is the way to do it. And that's one of the reasons why you run the Emrakul, to shuffle the Tendrils back into the deck. So this is super bare bones. You know, this means you only get 1 shot. But this is also really flexible and can both Doomsday natural Tendrils somebody and also just do the Storm through the graveyard. So it just depends. You know, I've boarded this way before. God, there's been a lot of Miracles. I remember Patrick was saying that Miracles was the most played deck. But we're 2-0. I mean, that's awesome. Frost is on Miracles. He's 2-0. Usually Miracles. He plays a couple other decks, but 99% of the time he's going to be on Miracles. Maybe he was playing against something that just scoops the Chalice. Or, excuse me, jeez. 25 wins, too. Counterbalance lock. Probably. Let's skip ahead a little. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream tonight. It's fun hanging with you guys. We got some new music coming on to here. We got some new music on the channel. Always adding new stuff. New decks, new music, new articles. Speaking of which, it's coming out soon. Sorry that I'm late on it. I wish, man. It'd be a long tournament. Something like this is what I would run. You still got an 11-card reanimate package. Yes, you've cut a Finn, but you still got a Grizz in the deck somewhere. You've still got the Children. You still got the Tendrils. You got Doomsdays. You got a couple Lion's Eyes. You got the Ideas Unbound. You're still running the Petals and the Rituals. I mean, the core of the deck is still here. And what did we do? We moved the Goryo's Vengeance to the sideboard. So this went into the sideboard. And the therapies went in the sideboard. So, you know, I'm just kind of moving pieces around. I just wanted to show you one of the board plans. I might actually save this because this is a pretty complex board plan and I forget how I do it exactly. This is one way you could do it. You could board differently, I guess. A couple pieces, like if you want the chain or the needle, you could cut something else for them. So, decks that I was really excited about from the coverage. Let's talk about it briefly. Looks something like this. Those are your finishers. There's your Doomsdays. There's your Hand Hate. There's your Reanimate package, which is, by and large, still huge. And then you got a bunch of cantrips. And a couple Lion's Eyes. Absolutely agreed. This is a solid band. Tall Grass. Split Mind! Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Abrams special. Hope you guys like what I did. I moved... Some of you guys were saying you didn't like where this was located. The thing from Dan Bopes, the record tracker. So I moved it here. So it's in a better spot. Early Harvest. Doubling Cube. Oh man. Okay. If you win, untap all forests. Yep, that's an untap effect. There's another elf that does this, I'm pretty sure. Might not say basic land, but I'm pretty sure there's another creature that does something similar to this. Emrakul. Huh. You like this location better? Sure, I mean, if it really was disturbing the board state, I feel like a lot of the games I play don't involve... Well, no, Mick is... River, he does want the lands to be put into play for the untap effects. And that way, if it gets bolted, it's already done its value. I understand why. So let's go back to... So this is just real quick. This is a sideboard plan. We'll take a quick screenshot, and then I'm going to screenshot how it looks game one. But this is the hybridized board plan. This is if your opponent has reasonable answers for both sides of the deck, both the Doomsday side and the Reanimate side. You know, if they can really hose your graveyard and you need to go off without the graveyard. Gives you both options. Didn't dislike the old one. The new location's nice. Yeah, I mean, it's just some people were... there were a couple people complained. They were like, it's covering things. Move it. Okay. I try to listen to you guys for the most part. Usually it's good advice. And sometimes you guys don't know what you're talking about, so... But I at least always listen to the feedback. That's what's important. I may not go with it, but I'm at least going to listen to you guys. Hopefully, yeah, it's something you like about the stream. That's something I also liked about your stream, Ben. I don't know if you're still here, friend. Pomegranate. You did a really good job listening to people. And again, I think we had maybe a similar size stream. Well, you get big. You get pretty big some nights. I remember. I think that you would do a really good job listening to your viewers, so I kind of want to also do that. Chins are overrated, Nick Pond. Chins are overrated. I can make it smaller. Is it too big? I see my chin just fine. It's hiding my neck. It's not too big. I think it's the perfect size. Oh, thanks, Emperor. Appreciate it, guys. Oh, okay. So real quick, let's delve into a new deck. I love brewing with you guys. So I saw this deck and I was like, I love it. I want to play it. I saw Joe Lissette up against a Grixis Painter deck. Who saw that deck this past weekend and said, I want to play that? I know I did. He even had altered tops, which was interesting. He had like tops that were altered so that they looked like this, even though we'd probably get our hands on this one. I don't even know if the reprint of Grindstone even helped the price of this card. Here's the problem with Grindstone Painter. Abrupt Decay. Oh, true, Gordon. That game went forever. The problem with this deck is Abrupt Decay. And there's a couple different ways to play it. Some people like to play the Blood Moon Heavy Blast version with a white splash for Enlightened Tutor. And some, like, you know, like Rest in Peace or stuff like that. I don't know if you really... I guess if you needed a Rest in Peace. Although this deck is also typically built like Goblin Welder style. But he fused it with Tezzeret. And I really like that. I really liked that he had some number of Tezzerets in the deck. I don't think he was running Seeker. I think it was just Bolus. Like maybe you could get away with a 2-1 split. I like things like Dak Faden. He had a Dak Faden. Mono green combo. I don't know. It's like Dak Faden. Dak Faden's fun. And then you've got like he had like Transmute Artifacts. I've already got those. Some Transmute Artifacts. And then you've got things like Duretti. And you could run like, you know, Goblin Welders. Although Welder, I mean, game 1 Welder just dies. Although I guess it soaks a removal spell for the Painter's Servant. I mean, Painter's Servant dies to everything in the format except like Dark Blast. So you have to keep that in mind if you're gonna run something like Welders. I don't know how many you would run. Stick some in the sideboard for now. You know, I saw him running Sensei's Top. So you got a Sensei's Top or two. You know, I saw him running like Chrome Mox. I just don't know. I wish I saw his deck list. That thing was sweet. Not Chrome Mox. He was actually running Mox Opals. He had Mox Opal. Yeah, he had freaking Mox Opal in there, dudes. I don't know how many he would run. He had a bunch of artifact lands to pull off the Welders or maybe Duretti. I don't know how much Duretti is. And it was Force. Force of Will and Pyroblasts. Red Elemental Blasts. The whole spiel. I have a couple Pyroblasts to my name. I don't have a bunch of Red Blasts, unfortunately. Red Elemental Blast. We'd have to get more like Pyroblast or Red Blast. I think Elemental Blast is more money. More tickets. This deck was really cool, though. I mean, I don't know if I'd play it myself. I think there's a lot of Abrupt Decay on Moto right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would this be a cool deck for us to play on here? I'm sure somebody in the chat likes this idea. So you got Pyroblast. Oops. So Pyroblast. Funny enough, I was building... yes! Grixis Painter. It's like 5 tickets for a Pyroblast. Look at the foil. Is there another version of this thing? There should be more than one version. I don't know why it's only giving me one version. Red Elemental Blast. There's 2 versions of you. A promo and Masters Edition. This one's on the low. Good. So this one's going down. Well, it's technically in a world filled with, you know, prowess creatures, it's worse. So this one's actually affordable for us. If we want more blast effects for the deck, we could get a couple red blasts. Not that one. This one. So we could get like 1 or 2. Didn't see it in action. It's a deck worth going back. He killed Joe game 1 with a Tezzeret Ultimate, which is always good. They went to time. He never actually welded him. Oh, wow. 4 welders? Okay. Lion's Eye Diamond. Wow. Wow. This is it? He was 11th place. Yeah, Lewis. Gosh. Impressive. That's impressive. I would build it differently. I love that it's got intuition. It's